psychology, theology, and finance. Now, and that was in 1990. We were doing that, and I thought, we do this for 3 months. They figured out we don't know what we're doing. They throw us off, and it was a fun experience. 9 years later, we finally wrap it up. But we wrapped it up because we started to realize, Kevin, our kids are getting older. They're headed for college, and this is not going to work in terms of financially. Now, I must say that Turning Point Counseling is an incredibly meaningful and purposeful ministry. It's awesome. It's the best thing I've ever done, is create this ministry. It's just a terrific thing. It's just a lousy business. It's just hard to make ends meet. And it's always been a struggle for us. So we looked at, well, what else can we do? I literally actually went in to explore the possibility of being a commodities broker. I said, okay, what clients have I had that makes a lot of money? Okay. Well, so what's the threshold of entry for that? Well, not too high. So I studied, took the test. I passed the ethics exam. But I didn't pass. I missed the other piece just by a little bit. So God was intervening and saying, no, we don't want you to be there. It was that's a slimy industry. So we have, in the last year of our radio program, we had 3 different guests, and we had many guests, but 3 guests on finance and the family. And the first guest came on. We did our thing with her, and she says, you guys ever thought about doing debt management? Because you guys are poised for that. And I'm thinking, how do you know we got financial problems? Why should we call it debt management company? Do it, not you call. And I said, oh, okay. And so we thought, thank you for sharing. We're psychologists. We don't know anything about money, so on we go. Second guest, many guests later, another guest comes along with the same suggestion. Really? Okay. So we dismissed that. And then the last guest was Mary Hunt. Some of you may have known her. She's wrote the book on, I can't say this really well, Cheapskate Monthly. That's a mouthful. And she said that too. I said, all right. So after the 3rd time, it's like, okay, Lord, what's going on here? So we sent Kevin out, and Kevin is kind of our rabbit chaser, right? There's a possibility, go check it out, and he'll run out there and pick it up. And usually he'll bring back this diseased rabbit. It's like, oh, that's bad. So get rid of that. But he comes back with this rabbit. It's like, wow. He says, this is pretty good. So we looked into it, and let me erase this because I want to start getting the structure up. He comes back and goes, now this looks pretty interesting. We should explore that. So here we have TPC. And so we go, okay, well, this does look interesting. And the other thing we wanted to do is we wanted to get into something that made some money, but also help people. We weren't just about making money. We've been all about helping people, and counseling is great about helping people, but it's tough making money. So the debt management company comes along, and so we go, well, there's only 2 things we miss. And one is how to do it. We don't have any clue about how to do this, and we need some money to fund it. And the Lord just, during that period of time, just absolutely blew my mind about, I always hear the stories, but it never happened to me. Well, this one just blew me away. Some guy just moved from Florida to San Diego, been doing this for 30 years, was a Christian for the last 10, and so we found him, Kevin found him, and we called him up, and he said, sure, I'd be happy to help you guys. So, and I remember going down and talking to him, and I said, Jerry, now you're going to help me be your competitor. Explain that to him. Why are you doing that? He goes, are you kidding? The need is so huge, I could train 20 of you, and it wouldn't be a problem. It's huge. Okay. Well, then there was the money problem. And Kevin had a client who had some parents who, Kevin did some great work with a daughter, and they were very interested in what we were all doing, and heard about this piece, and said, we'd like to hear more about that. So this couple took us to lunch, and at the end of lunch, they wrote us a $5,000 check. I mean, wow. I mean, not like, do you want to see a business plan? Do you want to, I mean, just, here you go. And they did that for the next 18 months. So off comes Turning Point Financial Counseling. Okay? DBA, debt-free Christian. So after 18 months, we're getting, basically Kevin is working 40 clients a week to free me up to start this. So I'm seeing very few clients. He's going like a banshee over here seeing clients. It's amazing. He was generating $20,000 a month, every month, just like that. Because he was making both of our salaries. to have you get this thing going. This also is a 501, C3. The gentleman and the wife who helped us do this, after 18 months we said, you know what, we're self-sustaining now. Kevin and I weren't taking any money out of this. We're self-sustaining. You don't have to give any more, give to another organization, because that's what they were about. They had this nice secular little company that was making money, and they were missions and ministry minded, and that's what they did, so, which was really cool. And we were certainly benefiters of that. And I had an experience at that lunch when they wrote that check, because Kevin and I, we drove away, and I said, Kevin, I don't know how you feel, but I'll tell you what, the way I feel, I would like to spend the rest of my life making other people feel the way I feel. You got this dream, the only thing that's standing in the way is money. And here's a couple that have the money, and they say, we believe in you, we believe in what you want to do, go for it. I mean, oh my gosh, the feeling that, and that's my goal, is to do that. That's my personal goal, is to help things happen that can't happen because there's no money. Because I've lived there all my life. I know what that feels like, and I also know what it feels like to suddenly have a breakthrough. All right, so this goes on for 18 months. The couple, he's 75, she's 60, and him and I hit it off really well. He's never had any children. I've never known my father, so I have no father relationship, and so him and I just had this great relationship. So after the 18 months of donation stops, the relationship continues. Now he has this company, and he's trying to figure out what to do with it. He wants to pass it on to his stepchildren, and there's conflict there and issues there, so that wasn't going to work out, and they just weren't interested. And he had a brother who had a son, and he was in the middle of trying to do that, and that was going sideways big time for him. And he came to me and says, you know what, I need to get him out of here. And I said, well, I got an HR guy that can help you. He's great. He'll come alongside you and make this transition to be good and legal and all that good stuff. So we did that. And I took him to a steak fry at our church, and it was late at night, and he was talking about this frustration, and I caught his vision, which is create something that makes money and use it to build the kingdom. And I told him, I said, gosh, Phil, I wish I could buy your business, because I get what you're talking about. Now, I did not have any intention. There was no reality in that statement. It was just an empathic statement to say, I get what you're trying to do, and gosh, I wish I could do that, because I would, I'd do what you're doing, which I believe in. And he says, well, let's talk about that. And I'm thinking, he's sweet, he's old, he can't hear really well. I'm sure he doesn't mean it, so I completely forget about it. I'm not thinking this is serious whatsoever. About a month later, he says, well, have you give us some thought to it? And I said, to what? To buy my business. I said, Phil, I'm a psychologist. I'm metal stamping? I don't even know what that is. Are you kidding me? And he said something to me at that time that I didn't understand at that time, but I sure do now. And he says, what you need to know, you know. What you don't know, I'll teach you. Really? Okay, I don't understand that, but it took about another month of convincing, and then I went to Kevin. He says, "We're going to do what?" He's even going like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." I said, "No, Kevin, work with me on this." And but what I learned is that every business at a certain level is the same. It's the same stuff. Spreadsheets, P&L, balance sheets, strategic marketing, all that stuff it doesn't matter. Now at another level, it's very unique to each business. We do metal stamping, we do accounting. It's all very different. And in terms of starting businesses, you better know that stuff, or else you're not going to get very far, because most small businesses fail. And then the other part, he said, I'll train you, and which he did.